Okay, so for this lesson, for our fluency activity, you will need plastic whiteboard, or those of you at home, paper and pencil, please. Take out your whiteboard marker. Yours looks smaller than mine, so okay, whiteboard marker, your whiteboard, and your plastic sheets, okay? So this plastic sheet, Elian, plastic sheet, your marker, your dry erase marker, and your whiteboard. Thank you, Emma, Noah, and Ledger. Ready? Good job, comments. All right. And then just leave those things down. The first activity we're going to do is we're just going to say it out loud, okay? So you're not writing anything down, but we're saying these together as a class. Good job, Bo. Good job, Alejandro. Almost there, Elian. No. Not yet. Thank you for asking. We look up the whiteboard. You saw one people? Okay, quickly. All right. So now, this activity is called Rename the Units, Plural Response. So I like to think of these as in money, okay? So if we're thinking of 10 ones, okay, good, Elian. So if we're thinking of 10 ones, I'm thinking of 10 $1 bills. So 10 ones is also equal to how many 10? 110. Right? You can change 10 $1 bills and exchange it for 1 10 bill. Right? Yes, Dylan? You agree? Okay, so this is like we're exchanging dollar bills for $10 bills. For 10, the bills that are 10. Okay? So let's try saying it out loud together. Ready? Elian, mask on, eyes up here. Okay, 10 ones equals
10.
110. Good. 20 ones equals 2 tens. Say it out loud, okay? 30 ones equals 3 tens. 80 ones equals 8 tens. Elian, we're not drawing right now. Eyes over here. 90 ones equals 9 tens. Good job. Okay. 100 ones equals 10 tens. 110 ones equals 11 tens. Wait till I move my hand out like that. Then it's the class's turn, okay? 120 ones equals 12 tens. 170 ones equals 17 tens. 270 ones equals 27 tens. Good job. Okay. 670 ones equals 67 tens. Good. 640 ones equals 64 tens. 830 ones equals 83 tens. Okay. Next one. Now you need your marker and your plastic sheet that has your place value chart. As long as it has a place value chart, that's fine. But if you want the one that's the longer one, go ahead and switch it out right now. As long as it has a place value chart, okay? Elian, ready? El plástico. And make sure you have your markers ready. You might need your erasers, or you can use your hand, or you can use a tissue. Okay, ready? So we're reviewing things that we already have done in 4th grade. So you're going to be using the place value chart, but you're going to be using discs. So when I mean by discs, I mean this is the ones place, right? So if I say we have 3 ones, you would draw a disc and then a 1. A disc and a 1. A disc and a 1. So that's 3 ones, okay? So for tens, it would be a disc and a 10. A disc and a 10. Okay? So for hundreds, we would have a disc and 100. A disc and 100. So here we would have 200. So over here, when the decimals, we would have a disc and 1/10. So that's decimal 1. A disc and 1/10. For hundreds, we would have a disc and decimal 0.1. A disc and decimal 0.1. Okay? All right. So now, we have 3 tenths. I want you to show on your place value chart 3 tenths using place value discs. So what place value do we need? We need the tenths. So here's our decimal. Here's the ones. Here's the tenths. So you need to draw 3 tenths and then hold it up and show me, please. Hold it with 2 hands. Oh. So 10, 10, 10, 10. 3 tenths, right? Good, Thomas. Alian. Show 3 tenths. Good, Bo. Good, Alejandro. Okay, so now I want you to write down the digit below it. So how many tenths do we have? 3, right?
Yep.
How many ones do we have? None. We have 0. Is this digit the same value as the place value disc?
No.
If we put it together? How do we say this?
30.
30. How do we say this all together?
3 tenths.
3 tenths. So 3 tenths equals 30. Write it down. 3 tenths equals 30. Okay. Now let's try it with 3 tenths. So wipe off your board. I don't know why it says that. So we're doing 3 tenths. Okay. So here's our decimal. Which way is the tenths? To the right or to the left?
Right.
To the right. Thank you both. So is this the tenths? Yes, it is. Okay, so we need 3 of the tenths. So that means decimal 1, decimal 1, decimal 1. Okay, so now let's write it out. So we have 3 in the tenths, decimal, we have 0 ones. Okay, so now let's write our connection. So 3 tenths is equal to, how do we write it in numerical form? 0 decimal 3. Okay. All right, go ahead and wipe off your board. Let's try it with hundreds. Okay. So now we are showing 3 hundredths. Okay, what are we showing? Say it out loud fast. 3 hundredths, okay? So you need to find the hundredths place. So here's our decimal. Tenths, hundredths. So we need 3 in the hundredths. So that we need to show the place value this. So that's decimal 0, 1. Decimal 0, 1. Again. Decimal 0, 1. Do we have 3 of them? Are they hundredths? Okay, we now have 3 hundredths. Okay, so let's write our numerical form. So we have 3 of these, right? We have 3 hundredths. How many tenths?
0.
0. Decimal right here, right? How many ones? 0. Okay, let's write our connections. So 3 hundredths, that's HUNDREDTHS is equal to, how do we write it in standard form? 0.03. Okay. Got it? All right. Good job. That's some good practice for today. So now let's do application problem. So go ahead and wipe off your plastic sheet. And now we're going to use the whiteboard. Okay, Elian, whiteboard. Oh. Okay. All right, application problem. I'm going to read it first, and then we're going to read it together as a class. Ready? Farmer Jim keeps 12 hens in every coop. If Farmer Jim has 20 coops, how many hens does he have in all? Okay, we'll stop right here. This is going to be the next question. So now let's read it together, everybody. Ready? Farmer Jim keeps 12 hens in every coop. If Farmer Jim has 20 coops, how many hens does he have in all? Okay, so we're going to our DW. We're going to be red. Now we need to draw, and then we can write. So let's draw on our whiteboards what they are saying. Farmer Jim has what? 12 hens, right? So we can write 12 for hens. Okay, draw it. Draw it on your whiteboard. Yeah, that one, the whiteboard. Yes. Okay, keep going. If Farmer Jim has 20 coops, stop. We know he has 12 hens in every coop. And we know he has 20 coops. That's a hen house, okay? It's called a coop. Okay, how many hens does he have in all? Okay, so how can we draw this? Can I draw this 20 times?
I know it. I know that.
I can, but I have to draw it how many? 20 times, right? You could do that. Or we could write, Ledger, what would be our equation?
20 times 12.
20 times 12, right? Okay, you can do 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 20 times. That works as well. Or we can do 20 times 12. Okay? Ready to do it? Alright, so first we do ones times the ones. So 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 2 tens is 4. So 4 tens, so 40. so now we're in the tens place, so we would have 10 times 0. So add a placeholder. 1 times 0 is yes, 0. 1 times 2 is 2 in the 100 place. And now we can add, because we don't have any more digits to multiply. So 0 plus 0, 0. 4 plus 0, 4. 0 plus 2, 2. 240. So how many hands does Farmer Jim have? 240. Okay, let's write it down. Farmer Jim, write it down, write it down, Farmer Jim has 240 hens in all. Period. Okay. Next part, ready? Good, Elia. Good, Alejandro. Good job, Emma. Okay, let's read the next part. Everybody together, ready? Go. If every hen lays 9 eggs on Monday, how many eggs will Farmer Jim collect on Monday? Okay. So now, if every hen lays 9 eggs.
But you have to read them. And he says there are 240 hens and all, so you have to read them. Yeah.
He's taken care of that. He's done it all. He knows what he's doing. He just needs help to figure out how many eggs he's going to have by the end of Monday. So, if we know he has 240 hens, and each one hen will lay 9 eggs, what could be our equation for this? Times? Okay, what should we multiply?
240 by
Noah?
Can I just make a guess?
You want to estimate a guess? Okay.
Yeah.
What's your guess?
It's going to be 2,391.
Eggs? Okay. That's our guess. That's our estimated guess. So now what is our equation? What are we multiplying? 240 hens times 9 eggs each. Okay, write it down on your whiteboard, please. Okay, so now let's multiply. So we have 9 times 0 is 0. Now we have 9 times 4 in the tens place. So 9 times 4 is 36. So we can only have one digit per place value. So 6 here and carry the 3. 9 times 2 in the hundreds. So 9 times 2 is
It's 18.
Close.
It's 18,
18
plus the 3
18
is 21.
plus
So you
3.
drop that. It's 21.
21.
I'm sorry.
21.
21.
Okay, so now we are done because we don't have any more digits to multiply. So how many eggs will Farmer Jim have? Noah?
2,160.
Eggs.
I was close. Now we need
Period. That's a lot of eggs, which means hopefully he's going to get a lot of money for them.
He can start his
Okay.
own egg place.
Any questions? Any questions? Okay, so down here where it says explain your reasoning using words, numbers, or pictures. So pictures could be when we did the 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. That's a picture. Using numbers is doing an equation. And explaining your reasoning using words, That's using a whole sentence, okay? All right, now let's move on to concept development. Good job, everybody. So now, place value chart. So you can use this one, but I would prefer that we use this one, okay? So we're using this place value chart. So go ahead and change it out. It shouldn't take that long. Ready?
No. The erase.
Thank you, Dylan. All of us. Thomas, do you have the place value chart in front of you? This one? Okay, so we have. So here's our decimals. Here's the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions. And then we have the tenths, decimals, points, hundreds, and thousands. Okay? So now, okay. Alright, so we're starting with, again, we're regrouping by dividing by tens right now, okay? So I want you to show me 1 million using discs, but you're just going to do a dot, okay? So you're going to show 1 million by doing one dot in the millions place. Okay? So now, that 1 million, we're going to divide it by 10. So say I had $1 million, and we're going to divide $1 million between each of us. So 10 of us, okay? So we would have divided by 10, okay? Elian, write it down.
Everyone will give. I know the answer to it. Oh.
So now, we don't have a whole million, so cross it out.
It's 100,000.
And below that, we are going to draw 10 groups, right? Because we started with one group and we divided it into 10. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we have ledger.
I know the answer to it.
What do we have now?
We have 100,000 each,
So how many 100,000s do we have?
10.
10 100,000s, okay?
I know.
Good.
Easy.
Okay, so now the 10 100,000s, we're going to divide it by 10 again. You're going to share your 100,000 with your family. So 10 people in your family, you're going to share it with, okay? So now each one is now 10,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But how many of these do we have?
10.
We have 10 of these, and we've only shared out one of them. So now we need to do it again. So 100,000 divided by 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, go.
Do you do it on how many family members you have?
No, we're just doing it into 10 family members. Okay. So again, we'll cross that one out, and we're dividing it into 10. So now we have 10 more here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're gonna have a lot, right? Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, Ledger.
Instead of like writing the individual dot, you could just put like it times by like the number of them.
Times by the number.
So you could put like 10 or put the amount of dots and then do it like times whatever that. So you could put just one row of tens and then put a times by that and put like times the numbers.
Okay. Okay. I like that. Now let's write it in word form. And that's it now. So we have 10, 100,000. So write it down, please. 10, 100,000. 10, 100,000. Write it down. And we divided it into 10. Equals blank. Okay? 10, 100,000 divided by 10. So we had 10 parts divided into 10 groups. So 10 divided by 10 equals 1. There'd be 1 in each group, right? So if we have 10, 100,000, so say we just had 10 bananas, 10 of anything, this is just telling us what it is. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're starting with 10. We divided it into 10 groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many would go in each group? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many are in each group?
1.
1 in each group, right? So 10 divided by 10 equals 1. And then our 100,000, we didn't divide it into anything because we just did 10 groups. So we have 100,000. 100,000. Whoops, forgot my S. Okay, that's what we did right here. 100,000 divided into 10 gave us 1,000 per group. Okay? Alright, now let's try problem number 2. Ready? So wipe off your plastic. Wipe off your place while you chart. Okay, problem 2. Multiply copies of 1 unit by 10, 100, and 1,000. So we're starting with a copy of 4 tenths. So in your place value chart, I want you to write down 4 in the tenths place. Okay, you wrote it down. 4 in the tenths. 4 in the tenths. Okay, so now 4 tenths, we're going to multiply it by 10. So is our place value going to shift to the left or to the right since we're multiplying? To the left. Because the left is going to increase in value, right? If we have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, it's getting bigger to the left. So we're starting with 4 tenths, we're timesing it by 10. So that means we're getting 10 more 4 tenths. So now it would shift 1 over, drop it down. So now we have 4 ones, okay? Can't see that very good. So now we have how many? 4 ones. So 4 tenths times 10 equals 4. 4 ones. Got it? Okay, so now let's try with 4 hundredths, okay? So on the place value chart, you have 0.004. So look where your decimal is. And then we have 0 tenths, 4 hundredths. Okay? So now what are we going to do with the 4 hundredths? What is the equation?
Can you erase it or you do a new one down here?
4 hundredths. What's our equation? 4 hundredths and times 10. So if we have 110, we're shifting how many times?
1.
1 time. So if we have 4 in the hundredths and we're shifting to the left, so it's going to shift 1 time. 1, drop it down right there. So what do we have now? 4 in the tenths. So that would equal 0.4. Okay? Now let's try it with 4 thousandths times 10. Ariana,
Can we please go to the bathroom?
can you hold it for like 10 minutes?
I'll try.
Okay, so we have 0.004, and we're going to times it by 10, okay? So put the 4 thousandths in your place value chart. 4 thousandths. So how many tens do we have? Just 1, right? If we had 100, we would have 2 tens. But we have just 1 10. So that means we're shifting how many times? 1 time to the left, okay? So we're going to shift starting all the way on this side. So 4, 1, shift, drop it down right there. Since these are zeros, the rest of these are zeros as well. So we had 4 thousandths. Now we have 4 hundredths. Beautiful. 0.04. Okay? What patterns do you see with these problems? With these equations? They're all 4. Good. What else? Anything else? What's different about the multiple cam? What's different about this one to this one to that one? Thomas? The zeros, right? Okay, so how is that different from our answers? Ledger?
You're basically adding a 0 onto each one.
Up here?
Yeah.
Yep. Did I add zeros down here?
Yeah, so it started with 4, then it went to 0.4, and then that went to 0.0.
Okay. So what if it were 4 times 10? What does that equal?
4 times 10 equals 40.
It equals 40, right?
So it's kind of the same thing.
So here we added zeros at the end.
And
It looks like it, but it's the place value, the digits are shifting in place value.
And on the bottom, we
Here.
add 0 to the front.
What matters is not that you just add zeros here, because it doesn't matter how many zeros you add. If it depends on where your decimal and your digit is. Okay, because I can leave 4 tenths and I add as many zeros as I want. But that decimal is still right there, and that digit is still right there, so that is still 4/10. Adding the zeros does not change, okay? So you have to shift in place value. Yes, Ariana.
What would it look like if it was millions?
Millions? I've never gone that far to millions. It'd be super far though. Okay, now let's try it with 6 divided by tens, okay? Wipe off your plastic. Wipe off your plastic. Good. Okay. Our first one. So we're dividing copies by 1 unit by 10, 100, and 1,000. So we have 6 ones divided by 10. So put it in your place value chart. So we have 6 ones, right? So that would go right here. Now we're dividing by 10. So if we're dividing, do we shift to the left or to the right? To the right. Okay, because it's going to get smaller. How many tens do we have? 1 10. So we're shifting 1 time. So start with the 6. Shift 1 time. Drop it down right there. Now what do we have?
6.
0.6 or 0.6 or 6 tenths. Okay? Let's try the next one. Ready? 6 ones divided by 100. So plug in your 6 in the ones place. Thomas, you got it? Write it down. And we're dividing by 100. How many tens are in 100? 2 tens, right? Because 10 times 10 equals 100. So there are 2 powers of 10 in 100. So that means 6 ones needs to shift 2 times. Okay? Elian? So to the right, 2 times. Ready? Start with the 6. 2 shifts. Ready? 1, 2. Drop it down right here. So now we have 6 hundredths. So placeholders here, decimal, placeholder there. So that equals 6 divided by 100 equals 6 hundredths. Okay, last one. Ready? 6 ones. Elian, last one. 6 ones divided by 1,000. Okay, so 1,000 has 10 times 10 times 10. How many powers of 10 are in 1,000? 3. So how many shifts do we need to do? 3. To the left or to the right? To the right, because it's going to get smaller, because we're dividing. Okay. To the right 3 times. Ready? Starting at the 6. 1, 2, 3. Drop it down. What do we have now? 6 thousandths. Zeros here because we don't have, they didn't give us digits to put in there, so it's just zeros.
Can I do something hard? This is kind of easy.
It's gonna get hard. Don't you worry. Okay? So equals 0.006 for 6 thousandths. Okay? Alright, wipe off your plastic. That's the one we just did, sorry. Alright, problem 4, ready? This one looks different because
It's multiplying.
it has more than one digit.
And it's multiplying.
And we're multiplying. Yes, no.
Can I use those?
Can you wait 5 minutes? Okay, so we have 2 and 43 hundredths. Write it down on your place value chart. 2 and 43 hundredths. Elian, you got it? Thank you. 2 and 43 hundredths. We're going to times each digit by 10. How many tens are in 10? How many powers of 10?
One.
One, just 1 10. So we're shifting 1 10 to the left because we're multiplying, okay? So since we're going to the left, I want you to start at the end of the left side. So that's the 2. So 1 time, ready? 1 jump, drop it down right here. Okay, now the next one, 4 tenths times 10. Ready? 1 jump, drop it down right here. Decimal, bring it down. Now, 3 hundredths times 10. Ready? 1 jump, drop it down right here. So now what do we have? 24 and 3 tenths. 24 decimal 3. Okay, next one, ready? So now we have 2 and 43 hundredths. And we are going to times it by 100. So I know we're going left because we're multiplying, so our digits are going to increase. And how many powers of 10 are in 100?
2.
2, because 10 times 10 equals 100, right? So we have 2 tenths. So how many shifts? 2 shifts. Starting on the left since we're going left. Ready? 2 shifts. Ready? 1, 2. Drop it down right here. Right where you stopped. Elia. Okay, next one, the 4. 2 jumps. Ready? 1, 2. Drop it down right here. Ready? Elian, más para. 2 jumps. Ready? 1, 2. Drop it down right here. Decimal, bring it down. Okay, what do we have now? 243. You can put your decimal or you can leave it off. Both are correct. Okay, last one, and then we'll do problem set. So we have 2 and 43 hundredths. Put in your place value chart, please. I don't know how many I'm going to need, but okay, ready? So each digit we're going to multiply it by 1,000. How many powers of 10 are in 1,000?
3.
3. Another pattern is however many zeros are in there, that's how many tens there are. So we have 3 powers of 10, so we have 3 shifts.
Can I do it right?
Okay, starting on the left side since we're going left. Okay, 3 jumps. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Drop it down right here. Okay, next one. 4 in the tenths. 3 jumps. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Drop it down right there. 4 in the hundred place. hundreds times 1,000. 3 jumps. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Drop it down right there. So that is now 3 in the 10 place. And how many ones? 0. And you can put your decimal or leave it off. So what do we have now? 2,430. Okay? Any questions? Not yet? Alright, let's go ahead and do problem set. So, open up your Chromebooks and go onto Google Classroom and open up the math class kit assignment, not the exit ticket.
When are we going to plug it? 3 Day Friday. When are we going to do what?
Okay, again, Chromebook. Thank you, Dylan. Chromebooks.
I'm not looking at the sound.
Okay. Ready? Quickly. Ariana and Noah, you may go to the restroom quickly, please. Okay, so here's this. I'm going to have you look at this, but don't write on it. So write your answers on here, okay? Anything is your place what you chart right here. So here's an example. Here's your example for the first one. So you're starting right here. So first put this number on your place when you chart. Alright, open it up. After the one. Okay, on your class kick assignment, you'll just click on it and it'll open up like this. I also put in a place value chart that looks like this one. That's a manipulative, so you can move it around when you need it. Okay? So problem number 1A, it is already shown for you. So use the place value chart and arrows to show how the value of each digit changes. The first one has been done for you. So we have problem A, 3 and 452 thousandths. So on the top line, on the top row, you're going to put in the numbers. So 3 and 452 thousandths. And then you're multiplying it by 10. So that means you're shifting 1 time for 1 tenth. So each digit will shift 1 time, 1 time, 1 time, and 1 time. Okay, so now we have 34 and 52 hundredths. So then you would put in the whole answer back up here, okay? This is problem number 1A. Lesson 1, yes. Yes, after ledger. Okay, so problem B. Okay, Thomas, ready for problem B? 3 and 452 thousandths. So first plug it into that first row. So 3 decimal 452 thousandths. And you're timesing it by 100. So how many powers of 10 are in 100? 2, right? That'd be 10 times 10. So there's 2 powers of 10 in 100. So how many shifts for each digit? 2 shifts, okay? And since you're multiplying, you go to the left. Okay, keep going with the rest. Go Google Classroom. Okay, those of you online, once you have finished pages 1 and page 2, then you need to go back onto Google Classroom and do the exit ticket Go formative assignment. Please complete both problems on there as well. Okay, you have about 7 more minutes on this. Okay?
I got the answer wrong.
Okay, keep going.